Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast, and we are looking at play-up props on a Friday here, coming off a sizzling hot sweep on Thursday, 4-0, up 4.95 units on the night to be exact. So we are trucking along up more than 18.5 units on the season. We also have our best bets video up, so like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along with each of those each and every weekday this season. Also want you to head to thelines.com, check out the great written content up on there right now, and use that prop finder tool. Make sure you're getting the best juice available to you from all of those books giving you bets this season. Nate, let's go ahead and jump right into your first NBA play-up prop for the night. A favorite on the show, I'll be honest, Anthony Melton.
Yeah, we're not taking the stars in this Hawks-Sixers game. We are taking a star in his role, Anthony Melton, to go 12.5 points, even money. And you know, I'll take over 2.5 threes. It's plus 115. They're trying to tempt you with that to follow his recent success, but I think it's sustainable. I think the minutes are going to be there with Nick Batum, Kelly Oubre still out. In his last two, he's played 35 minutes a game, did 23 points per game, and 9 for 12 from three. One of those matchups against Boston, obviously a really good defensive backcourt. And now he's going to be cross-matched against Trae Young, I think, on both ends of the floor a lot. We just saw from Nick Nurse that he prefers Melton out there to Pat Bev. I mean, obviously because he's a better offensive player, but because he was matching up with Tyrese Halliburton at times. And just you need that quickness. You can't just necessarily be like a physical guard like Pat Bev against a Trae Young or a Tyrese Halliburton. So I think the minutes going to be there against the Hawks. The game state is going to be great. As per usual, it's like a 240 total in Atlanta. The Hawks expected to be up and down scoring. DeJounte versus Maxey, I think, is the other matchup. So easier for Melton to score off Trae, who isn't the most disciplined defender. Probably going to be giving half help or full help, or just losing Melton and giving him threes. And he's absolutely deadly. One of the most efficient three-point shooters the last 3 seasons now. Atlanta's given up the 5th most threes to shooting guards and the 4th highest three-point percentage at home, along with plenty of other goodies in terms of points. So I'll take Melton to stay hot in this matchup.
For sure. He scores in transition too, kind of like you were hinting at. And so I think that even if he doesn't get the threes, he's a good bet for the points. And I love D'Anthony Melton. I think he's a humongous reason that the Memphis Grizzlies were good without Ja Morant that one season, which people just don't talk about. Tyus Jones as well isn't there anymore. I think every time that I see Memphis without D'Anthony Melton and Tyus Jones on the floor, it's just so much more glaring how good they are now in their own roles, because they know how to do exactly what they're good at. Like you said, playing to their strengths and just really good at what he does. So speaking of really good at what he does, my first pick is going back to the Ausar well. Ausar Thompson, over 22.5 points and rebounds. Minus 110 on DraftKings, 1 unit. I started looking at this game, and it's just the you can build an entire roster with the amount of guys that are on the injury list for the Detroit Pistons at this point. And now Jalen Duren is out. Marvin Bagley III is questionable. Enter a whole bunch of James Wiseman and Isaiah Stewart, who I would say Ausar Thompson is more of a center than both of those gentlemen. So, the full unit on him feels really good in a game that he's going to have a ton of usage. When Jalen Duren is out, we're talking about a couple more minutes a game for Ausar Thompson, but all of his stats really indicate he's playing right around the rim, and he is basically their center. Beef Stew is like their best 3-point shooter right now, especially with the amount of time that Jaden Ivey has missed. So like he's not going closer to the basket than Ausar Thompson is. And neither is James Wiseman, who I'm not getting into that. So he's got 5 more points per game as well, Ausar, when he's in that, when Jalen's not in there. He actually averages like half a rebound fewer. It's still up at around 9.5 when Duren doesn't play. It's also like indicative that like the other team is now able to box him out and like focus on him a little bit more, but the usage and the minutes just stay so high for him at this point, like up around 35 minutes a game in this situation, that like with the amount of rebound chances that he's going to have combined with his incredible rebound chance percentage, dude, like on the rebound chance percentage, he's got like some of the strongest hands out there, up in the top 10 with that as well. So without Jalen Duren in the last 2 games that he's missed, which is these past 2 for the Pistons, we're getting a couple more rebound chances per game for Ausar. So it all works out in a situation where the Cavs are very good at guarding your big man. Actually, I haven't even really been that good this year because really Jared Allen hasn't been able to stay in the game long enough to be his dominant self. and Evan Mobley is doing well in his own right for his own stats, but it's not like he's able to like box out a guy like Pogo Sticks here. So they're giving up they're in bottom 10 in terms of limiting the opposing small forward in points and rebounds. They're also just bottom 10, either 10 to 15 in both rebound percentage and their opponent rebounds per game on the season, which is wildly not confusing. It's just a little bit surprising when you hear it for the Cavs.
Yeah, we talked about this a few days ago with the Cavs. Is that Isaac Okoro out? And there's this perception that they're really good on wing defense, but now they're trading some offense to get Max Strus in there, and solid defender, but not really the athleticism or physicality to deal with a guy like Oscar Thompson, who you say he's playing like a center, but really he's just jumping over everybody. He's just an incredible vertical leap, great rebounder. I love that you're getting the rebounds in here. If Donnie Mitchell and or Garland are out, I might just go pure rebounds because I don't know. This just might be like a gross game, Eastern Conference game. Speaking of which, Orlando and Chicago are meeting again after they totaled about 180 in their last matchup. Don't hate the under for the game, but I will take Vucevic under 19.5 points. Seems kind of high for him as the third option now with DeMar DeRozan coming back after he missed that previous meeting with a personal related absence. He's expected back here. And, Vooch only got 17 on elevated 28% usage with DeRozan out. That's consistent with DDR being out. Since the start of last season, his usage rate spiked 6% to 27. He averages 6.5 more points per game. He averages just 17 points per game with DDR. So now you're looking at the matchup with the Magic, a team, his former team, and I love those revenge narratives, but it just has not been there against a very physical, good interior defense. He's topped 19 points in just 2 of 9 meetings. He's averaging 17.5 against Orlando. And Orlando with Goga Bitadze now in there over Wendell Carter, that's a loss on offense, but he is still manning that paint. 9th fewest points to centers, 9th fewest paint points altogether. Best opponent assist to turnover ratio, number 2 defensive rating overall for these Magic. Alex Caruso is in there, which makes, the Bulls' identity changes with him. Gives us another low scoring look here. They average like 7 points per game fewer on offense with him. And of course, better defensive rating. They're also playing at the 3rd slowest pace in the league. And, in a slow paced game, you can maybe get some free throws going. You get something, a center. Vooch might have the worst free throw rate for any center in the league right now. Any starting center. He has 11 free throws in his last 8 games. It's just a minuscule rate. So I don't trust him, in this game state to get a lot of field goals going, and he's just not getting to the line.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the line. That's for damn sure. I am gonna see your Vucevic though and try and raise you a DeAndre Ayton. Yes, I am correct. DeAndre Ayton has 0.5 free throw attempts per game. So there is one person out there who is softer than Nikola Vucevic, and it's dominating, who dominates his way to the free throw line less than once a game. You fraud. Anyway, let me move on to my first pick here. I'm sorry, I'm on my second pick. We're just trucking along here. My bad. I'm going with a little double parlay, man. So I want to take the Jay Randall double. It's minus 155. That's how I came into this. The other two are just sprinkle in there to get you a nice plus 144. So we're going the triple double parlay. One for Jay Randall, one for Joker, and one for Giannis. So Joker, do I need to talk about Joker and doubles, or we can move on from that one? Okay, a double at least in every single game this season. Giannis, also only 3 times that he has not gotten a double this season for Yanni Boo was against 3 of the best rebounding teams in the league. And yes, I mean the Detroit Pistons, who against whom he had 9 and 22 minutes before getting ejected from that one. And then the other 2 were the Knicks and the Raptors, also the Heat in there. So those 4 games, really let's say 3, because he had 9 and 22 minutes against a top 10 rebounding team in the league in the Pistons. And now, we get a pretty good matchup for him, as we know tonight as well. So for Jay Randall though, I just wanted to figure out how he's going to do his thing against the Wizards tonight. And what I mean by that is Jay Randall picks and chooses how he wants to play each night. Sometimes he just really wants to make sure that he can get a rebound over you. Sometimes he wants you to know that he can get 25 on you. And with the Wizards, it's really kind of glaring how they're just so soft down low. Sorry, Daniel Gafford. I think he's very important to the team. But like, there's a reason that they're so bad down low this year is because he's really it anyway. Like Kuzma's your power forward, and he ain't banging down low on defense. So that's a reason that Jay Randall's averaged so many rebounds, about 12 boards against this team over his last 5 against Washington. So and that includes all the games with Kuz in there. 17 rebound chances per game for Jay Randall, and that's actually increased over his last 4 since he started like not trying to assist anymore. It's a really funny just like stopping point for when he was like first 6 games of the season was like, I'm gonna assist. Had like a bunch of assist chances per game, and was diming up at about 5 per game as well. And like the shooting was down, everything. Then the shooting came back, and then when the shooting came back, he got his swag and went back down low. And started getting double-digit boards once again over the course of the last 5 games. So with the way that he's playing, with where he's playing, and how much he loves to just sort of be down low, points in the paint against this Wizards team, like he hasn't always gotten that many points, and he hasn't always had to because there's been a lot of blowout wins for the Knicks against this team in the last couple seasons. So that's why he's only averaged like 17 and a half points against them. He's had a couple games where he's like below 17 points even. So it's really the rebounds where he's like 16 boards, 15 boards, like you look at it, the game log for him, and he's just grabbing everything against them. Mitch Rob is now up at 11 and a half boards. So it was like, obviously he's a great candidate, but it's really just him versus Daniel Gafford, and then Jay Randall left to do the rest. So easily, obviously 10 points is not anything you're worried about, but it's the 10 boards is what I'm focused on for him. And I think this is a great opportunity for him to keep getting a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, Washington's fastest pace in the league and giving up the most rebounding opportunities while they take plenty of bad shots and playing some Kyle Kuzma at the 4. So, I would say Randall is the weak link here in this parlay, but no, in the matchup, like I do trust it because of the game state. And I mean, maybe Giannis would be the weak link if Charlotte and Milwaukee play one of those like 140, 130 games and just nobody misses. But I mean, the Bucks really need him to come in and swoop in and get boards. Yeah. We saw Dame come back from the calf injury and light it up. Maybe Giannis comes back from a 1-game absence and just dominates the way he has been. So I think it's a pretty good conservative parlay.
Yeah, he looked pretty healthy on the sidelines over there when he was watching that game where Dame went off. So I'm not too worried about Giannis in this one. But yeah, Jay Randall's the weak link. It's a minus 155 number for him to get the double-double. I wanted to play that and talk about it and find a way to get some Knicks props in here. And the rebounds for him felt good. So with the double-double, you get a bit of juice as well. And I like this one. But that is all the time we have for you in play up props for today. We're looking to another sweep here would be awesome. End the week a little 8-0. Feeling pretty good about that. We did that like a week and a half ago, so it's very, very plausible. But continue to follow along, y'all, until we see you next. Happy betting.